Howdy and aloha everyone, this is James with Monotalk, and why isn't this working? Oh, there it is. That's weird. Huh. Well, it's working there. Why isn't it over here? Well, it's 8/31/2024, August 31st, 2024. Yeah, August was pretty crazy, as well as the entire three and a half plus years that we've endured. And I'm telling you, we have endured a lot. We've been very patient, it seems. We've been also very tolerant. And, in my opinion, a little too respectful. And it's a little dark behind me, but maybe that's good. Maybe it's kind of a twilight look going on behind me. Right? Anyway. The reason why I did another show tonight is because there's a lot of stuff going on. And more recently, something's brewing in, oh shit, it's not up on my thing yet. Some bikers are on the move. I'm trying to find the post I put here. I'd send it to Facebook, or what did I fucking send it to? Oh, I got my grapes. Let's see if it's here. No. Nope. Nope. I want to play this though. Where's the sound?
Do you dismiss or deny the current issues facing our country? Yes, also known as Trump derangement syndrome. Do you dismiss or
How do I get to the fucking beginning?
deny the current issues facing our country, such as historic inflation, illegal immigration?
God damn it.
Are you willing to elect someone who was the least popular vice president in modern history, and who offers
Happy link in bed now. It's Instagram for you.
loved ones suffering from illnesses such as TDS, also known as Trump derangement syndrome? Do you dismiss or deny the current issues facing our country, such as historic inflation, illegal immigration, corporate corruption, World War III escalations, and the chronic disease epidemic? Are you willing to elect someone who was the least popular vice president in modern history, and who offers no policy or vision for America, simply because your brain keeps telling you anyone but Trump? If so, you might be struggling from TDS. Introducing independence. Independence allows you the freedom to finally think independently once again. Instead of believing everything you hear from the mainstream media, independence allows for constructive critical thinking.
I used to hear people on the news say things like,
Donald Trump and the movement he has encouraged are a threat to democracy.
and I instantly believed it. With independence, I now realize the media is run by the Democrat elite, who are a corrupt oligarchy that censors free speech, silences political opponents, supports forever wars, and abandons democracy by anointing its candidates.
Independence may not be for everyone. If you enjoy being lied to about your president's cognitive abilities, support Orwellian totalitarianism, or are excited about communist fiscal policy, independence may not be right for you. Common side effects of independence may include an awakening of rational thought, successfully identifying propaganda, freedom of choice, loss of hatred, anti-narcissistic behavior, and love of democracy.
I used to blindly hate whoever my party was running against. I didn't care about facts or policy because I was hopelessly indoctrinated. With independence, I'm much more interested in policies that uphold democracy, and I truly care about the health of our country and its citizens.
Ask your doctor if independence is right for you, and enjoy your freedoms once again.
That's classic. No, it's not a medication, Democratic supporters. Sorry, it's not a pill. Because I know most of you take a shit ton of medication. I would almost guarantee you're on something now. What I find most interesting is how many people honestly believe that not voting, let me go back. At a certain point while I was in the military, I started to understand why I was really there. What I believed was the reason I was there. And the reason I believed I was in the military was to protect our Constitution. When you're sworn in, before you go into boot camp, you raise your right hand and you solemnly swear you'll defend the Constitution. Not some crazy bitch that thinks she's black. I love these grapes. Sorry. But it's just, that's part of it. It's my duty as a citizen to take a side. I mean, if you don't like the sides, it's still your right. I get it. You don't have to do anything. Nobody's going to twist your arm, get mad at you. I'm not mad at anybody. I mean, if that's what you want to do, but we're at a place right now that there is a side, or there are people that are completely and fully invested in the World Economic Forum. They abide by them. They abide by their rules, their laws, their corporate governance. Go on their website, you'll see corporate governance is freaking all over it. And the World Health Organization, along with people like Bill Gates, et cetera, and a bunch of, BlackRock, blah, blah, blah. If that's the world you want, central bank digital currency, or a cashless society, and if you want wars to continue to fund or money launder, our tax dollars along with money we don't have, because our current Congress and that president that sits at the that illegitimate dude likes to write blank checks all day long and twice on Sundays to send money to these oligarchs. And everybody thinks the money's going to Ukraine. It's not. It's not. I told you. And there's some people you could get with, and I can send you proof, but if you ever have a question about that, let me know. Why isn't the freaking... Who else is on here? Hey, Jordan. Yeah, so the thing is the Bill of Rights, all men are created equal. You know the thing now. Of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, right? Bound by their creators. It doesn't say creator, so whatever your religion is, you believe your creator is. It was very open. And then in there's a voting thing, and then there's a few other things in there that clearly states that, it's important that when we created this government, and I think this is the bottom line. I speak in layman's terms because I'm a layman in a sense. I'm an ex-construction worker / salesman / marketer / restaurant, hospitality industry, semi-professional. And I think it's important for people to completely understand that when they created that thing, they were under tyrannical authoritarianism to the fullest extent. They were only being taxed like 4%. And they were saying, fuck you. That's how the Tea Party started. Now we're at what, 28, 30, 38%? So we've been very patient and very tolerant and understanding. Their vision was, and I'm talking about the felonious founding fathers, which they all were according to Great Britain. They were all considered felons and criminals and all this other crap for wanting to break away and create their own world, country. They wanted to be free to do what they wanted to do, and they saw that taxing everything wasn't going to work for them. They wanted to be independent. They wanted life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. People wanted not to be oppressed, censored, or told what to do, as we are now, in many cases. But the country was getting bigger, and we put together a little thing called the government so that we could go about our business, so that we could go about doing our things while we put people, mostly men at the time, or all men, in place to watch things, to keep law and order, to keep us safe, to make sure that there was justice, true justice, not made up, Jack Smith or fucking all these lawsuits against Trump justice, which is the opposite of justice. So we created this government, and we had to put people in charge. We had to see what their vision was, their platform, the issues, the things they support, the things they don't support. And then when we would make a decision based on their character or their history or whoever they were. Now it's more advertising. But still, we were given a chance to vote, to put a person that we thought, while we were running our own businesses or farming or cattle ranching, or if we were building skyscrapers, or if we were building housing tracts, that we didn't have to worry about it, because the person that we voted for was going to make sure that our interests, or the things that were important to us, especially the Constitution, was held intact. And I think that's the reason why I'm voting. That's the reason why I'm voting for Trump, is because he speaks that. He believes in that. He's proved to believe in that. I believe also that if you don't want to vote, that's your right. I don't think you should be made to ever vote. I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's it. But I mean, if you look at it from my perspective, and then you see a group of people on one side, a very small sect, that are being controlled by a very tiny sect of people that are gazillionaires and billionaires and sick, pedophilia plagued sickos, is on that side. You know, the people that don't care about 325 or 320 million children from the border, people that don't care about fentanyl coming through the border, people that don't care about the gangs that are coming through the border, people that don't care about the terrorists that are coming to the border. I mean, and the list goes on and on and on and on of how heinous and authoritarian that is. I mean, look, I know that Democratic supporters are not offended by the word socialist. They praise it. They love it. I was there. You know, they don't care if you call them a communist either. They don't give a fuck about that. But if you say the words tyrannical authoritarianism, right, or they're totalitarians, that's the best word. They're totalitarians. They are a part of a group of, they are the mechanism, and they don't even realize that they're a mechanism to giving the king all power. When Trump, from what I can tell, wants us to have the power. That's pretty blatant. It's pretty forward. It's pretty in your face. Now, I did see something recently by American Vagabond, because I do get his email. He believes Trump is going to do digital ID, which that isn't the case. It's not. He's not going to force people to do digital ID, as in the left or the Democrats are definitely going to do that. They're also going to implement central bank digital currency. Trump has said cash is king. He still holds that. He wants the U.S. dollar, and he just said it as a recent rally, is numero uno, should be numero uno, as it was in the past. I understand there's a lot of people that have Trump derangement syndrome. I fucking can see it. I had it. That's how, look, I know, it's like, let's just say an alcoholic, right? By the way, I did go to AA for a long time. It was right before I went in the Navy. I said, you know what, I'm going to quit drinking for you in a month, because I'd like to do things like 110%. So when I was 25, I decided to stop drinking for a year and a month, which I did. Didn't drink. Went in the Navy, got out. When I got out, I fucking had a few beers, man. And while I was in the Navy, we had a good old time. But during that time that I was in, I went to a few AA meetings. The time, not when I was in, right before I went in, I went to a few AA meetings. And I know what you have. I know you're Trump Anonymous. I know that you have that in your system. You just can't get around the way he talks. You just can't get around what he says. You just can't get around. You think he's totally bought. But here's the scary part for the Democrats. Is Trump is going to expose the child trafficking. I don't get it. It's almost like you're okay with that. That's what fucking pisses me off the most. You know, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to do anything. But if you're okay with this country being basically the greatest child trafficking corporation on the planet, which happens all over the world, but we're like the epicenter of it, by the way, if you've really done your research. And most of them, and all of them basically, and there's a few right piglicans in there, are all about human and child and all this trafficking. Trump is not. So, are you okay with that? Yeah, I'm putting it on your fucking shoulders. I'm putting it on your shoulders, man. You okay with that? You think fucking Jill Stein's gonna stop that? Jill Stein is World Economic Forum putty. She's she's all about climate change. She's all about woke transgender. She's okay with people reading fucking sexually explicit books to fucking 5 and 6 and 7 and 8-year-olds. What? That's who you're voting for? You're okay with Jill Stein and having grown men and beards and fucking beer bellies at the age of 48 years old going into little girls' bathrooms? Is that why you're not voting? Is that why you're? Because you're not voting. You're voting. That's what you support. The Democrats support that. You're okay with men beating up fucking women in Olympic boxing? That happened. That was proven. And then this fucking dude is on Vogue magazine. And they painted him up, of course, to look like a fucking chick, but he's not. He's not. If you see what he's got, he's not. I don't care how he was born or what happened or whatever the case may be, but he's not fucking not. He's just... And there were two of them. There was one for Taiwan or Indonesia or something like that, some Asian dude, and him, and they both fought for the gold and the fucking silver. Because they beat the fuck out of everybody else. There are so many fucking reasons to not vote for the Democrats. There are so many reasons to vote, period, for Trump. Tons of fucking reasons. Look, I don't care what you do, or how you do with whatever your body, but leave the kids alone. They're experimenting and fucking playing around and learning things. How many people did you know that were growing up and you thought were going to be gay? And how many people that you were growing up and you thought were going to be a dyke or something like that? And you turn on, this woman is just gorgeous. There's this one girl, Robin, used to hang with us and the boys in the garage, and she even owned a fucking dirt bike shop. One of the most beautiful women on the fucking planet. I should have fucking made a pass. I should have tried. But I was busy doing other things. Having my own fun with girls and, whatever. But here's the thing. What I'm getting to is this. If you're not voting, you are giving them the power. Because, look, I know Trump's got 85, 90 million committed Trumpers, but you have to think to yourself, am I okay with child trafficking? If you are, vote, then don't vote and vote for Democrats. Are you okay with our food supplies being poisonous and water being fucking poisonous and everything being poisoned constantly? And the fucking jabs. Then don't vote, and that'll help the Democrats. The Democrats. Are you okay with forever wars? Money laundering. Ukraine, Israel, Ukraine, Israel. Wherever they need it. Where the money doesn't go where it's supposed to go, it goes to the oligarchs. Are you okay with fucking censorship? Our First Amendment right being stripped away from us. If you are, then don't do anything. Just sit back and do fucking nothing. But don't fucking trash a guy that's trying to stop that shit because of speculation. You don't know. Have you spoke with him? Have you talked to him? Because I hear this all the fucking time from these third party fucks. And I was a third party fucking idiot too. And there should be a third party. Yes. There shouldn't be any parties. I am adamantly against any party. We should all be independent voters. And whoever you put up there and has polling that's sincere and transparent and accurate should be our contenders. You start with fucking 20. You can start with 50. They go by resumes or whatever that is. And then after that, but yeah, the system is great. You got to have money these days. I get it. I was there. But we can fix that after we don't fall in the hands of the fucking World Economic Forum, the WHO, Chatham House, the Council on Foreign Relations, and all these fucks. Trilateral and all this other shit. Just a bunch of authoritarian crap everywhere. Deal with that later, but right now, the only chance you really have, and here's the fucking bottom line, since you're not going to go out, like I did, in front of the Capitol of West Virginia 3 fucking times, and sadly I was by myself, it was 2020, 2021, holding my fucking banner, right, to peaceably assemble and say my speech, to stop the leave our kids alone, no masks, no mandates, all this other stuff. I was out there. Stop the WEF. I started with, I got rid of that. And I like F the WF the most.org or DIYliberty.org. And I've kept it up. I tried to get people out there. You know? And all you guys kept doing was bitching. I was trying to get people to fucking get out there. To stop all this shit. To stop it all. But none of you were doing it. Actually, this looks better. This is good lighting. I think it looks better. And so that didn't work. Nobody fucking went. Nobody did it. I contacted Jimmy Dore. I contacted as many people as I could to push out my protesting process. The 99.9% against the oligarchs, against the fucking World Health Organization, against the fucking World Economic Forum, against the fucking the real masters of all these puppets. I tried to fucking do it. Right? I tried to do all that. Nobody fucking did a goddamn thing. And here we are now. And you don't want to fucking vote. That's fine. So let the child trafficking continue. So let the fucking border be invaded more. Let all our fucking jobs. I did the show about the tsunami, the nuclear bomb tsunami that's coming from 20 million illegal immigrants. When all their money gets taken away, they don't get their houses, they don't get all this shit, they don't get that and this, and then they get desperate. You just saw Aurora, Colorado. That's just a small piece. It's a scratch on the surface of a very large problem. And you don't want Trump to go after that? You want to let Kamala do it? Because she wants it worse. She's part of the problem. This is amazing to me. This is fucking amazing to me. You guys don't see any of this. You won't get out on the streets, right? So there's nothing more we can do. So we've got one dude that's gonna fucking, we're hoping is gonna fucking actually drain the goddamn swamp. tear the swamp out and put in a fucking forever pool. And that's what I'm hoping is going to happen. But now we're at that hope point. But he's got people like RFK Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, pretty good. She's not good with Muslims, sadly. She's got a fucking chip on her shoulder. Mahdi, 9/11. Anyway, she's not perfect, I get it. But she doesn't want the war shit. I'm hoping. All right, so we're dependent on these people that we believe will be good leaders. Okay, there you go. That's why the fucking government, the Constitution, everything was fucking created, so we could have this thing. So we could do this stuff, so you could vote. But now you don't want to vote. Now you don't want to fucking take a side. That's the problem. Even when I was in the third party, I took a side. Now I'm okay. If you want to fucking vote for Jill Stein, you go ahead. If you want to vote for American fucking whatever that is, Communist Party that just started by Jackson Hinkle, that dumb motherfucker, go ahead. Right? Go vote, but at least you're voting. That's good. But if you're not going to do a fucking thing, maybe you're a convicted felon and you can't. Then I get it. Then I get it. You can't. Right? And if it's because of drugs, that's fucking stupid. If you were a total drug dealer, then that's a different thing. But anyway. But if you're just doing it because you don't like Trump, because you have fucking Trump derangement syndrome, and you can't think of the word fucking independence, you can't think of that word, you lost that. You lost that word. You can't fucking think of it. Because you don't understand you don't know where that is anymore, right? You just can't. You know what? I want those people that don't fucking get what I'm saying, right? To go study, just read it, go through it on YouTube. It's like there's thousands of them, but make sure they're reading the Constitution from the actual printed, written text. If you're going to do and learn the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, bound by their creators, of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Wow. The thing. It's just amazing to me. There's a chick I know, just a thought. She's on X all the time, or whatever it is, whatever you want to call it. And she's been telling people to do things for a long time, and now she's saying don't vote. And I'm like, when's the last time you voted? She types in 2008. I go, then you mean nothing. Then your words mean nothing. No longer. If you're not out there actually doing something, like protesting or being an activist, getting out there, I went to the Pink Hat in Orange County event, and I was a Bernie Sanders guy. But I was trying to get money out of politics, Citizens United. And there were thousands and thousands, maybe, I think they said like 15,000, 20,000 people that were marching the streets in a big fucking circle. And I was in the part where they had these barriers to kind of weed them through. They had cameras around watching and all that shit. And I have a tape of it, and I can show you sometime if you want to see it. I kept yelling out, "End Citizens United. Stop Citizens United," yelling, and I'm fucking loud. If you've heard me, if you've seen me coach or heard me coaching basketball or baseball, I'm fucking loud. And the thing is only a few people knew what that was. Stop Citizens United. End Citizens United. And then fucking, only a few people understood what that was. To get money out of politics. I really, the person with the biggest pocketbook usually wins, but this is different. These people are rigging shit now. And that's another thing. People think it's going to be rigged fully. Well, Trump has basically an army of people, a bunch of somewhat voluntary employees that are going to be monitoring, recording, and trying to obtain and get transparency from each polling station, especially in the swing states. Even in California, there's a bunch of them in California. But it just fucking pisses me off that, you don't think it's important to vote if you're able to vote. If you want to vote for whoever, vote for whoever. But look, I brought it up many fucking times. Right? I brought it up many fucking times. I think parties are just fucking stupid. And once I saw this, I was right. Because this guy thought of it too. I have already intimated to you the danger of parties in the state, with particular reference to the following of them on geographical discriminations. Let me now take a more comprehensive view and warn you in the most solemn manner against the baneful effects of the spirit of party generally. Yeah, it separates people. Right? Oh, I'm a Republican. You're a Republican. I don't want to hang with you. You're a fucking Republican. I don't want to hang with you. Right? What if you're just an independent and you're just going to vote? Doesn't that sound better? What are you doing this weekend? What are you doing Monday? Oh, I'm voting. Really? Okay, cool. That's it. There's no party. You're just voting. Do you understand what he was trying to do? There wasn't a polarization. There wasn't a polarization. Let's see. Oh, darn it. Let me redo that again. Hang on. This thing is really weird. Let me see. Copy, transfer, reset, transfer. There we go. Yeah, it's that's what everybody should be doing, and I think Trump would agree with that. I don't think he would go against George's wishes. His letter to the state, I'm trying to remember what it's called. It's when he left. His presidency. He warned of many things. I read pieces of it, but it's impressive. And if you read it, you're like, wow, just what an intelligent. Nobody wrote it for him. How eloquent his speaking, and the way he was able to deliver messages with words I had to look up. And even if you graduated from Yale, you probably would have to as well. Because the way they spoke back in there, they spoke with intention. This is the difference between now and back then, and I think this is super important. Back when this country meant something, your word was really your bond. Your word, or people just didn't say shit, right? People weren't on here on YouTube or Instagram or YouTube or whatever, or Facebook or Twitter or whatever, just saying crap to get attention. They were saying pertinent, vital information every time they spoke, because that was your word. Now what I'm trying to get to, and this is important, is people would remember your word. People would go, well, Bill, the other day you said you move your fences back so that my cattle could get through to the river, but you didn't. And then Bill would go, you know what? We've been working on the back nine, or the back nine. I'm thinking about golf. I'm golfing tomorrow. What is that called? The back something? Anyway, part of a ranch. The back part of the ranch, and I just didn't get to it, man. But give me a week and I'll have it done, okay? And that's it. There was no contract. There was no writing. It was very rare. Your word was your bond. Your verbal word was your bond. It doesn't happen that way anymore. Right? Especially like marriages. It's interesting because it doesn't happen. You know, do you solemnly swear or whatever to take this, your lawful wedded wife, and till death you part, to, and then that gets broken a lot. Sadly, nobody keeps their word, right? It's like the other day I told two of my buddies at work, I said, you know what? It'd be cool if you guys came out and golf with me, or I'll just go to the range and I'll contact you. And I did today, and I went to the range and practiced, hit some golf balls, got hot quick. But I was out there, and I did what I said I was going to do. If I don't, it's because maybe I got distracted, or maybe I forgot, because that happens. And I'll apologize, say, look, I forgot, or I got distracted, or something with more urgency and needed to be taken care of. But my word is my bond. Yeah, I'm not too good with bills on that either. You know, like nobody is. It's integrity. This is all about integrity, right? I don't believe that people understand how important a vote is because of the integrity of it. And I think that's the key word to it. When you're voting, and you may think it's rigged and all this other shit, which it is, which a lot of it is. Let's just fucking put that card on the table and push it to the side for a second. But at least you're trying. At least you're putting yourself in the history books that, I'm going to try. There is no try, there's only do. That's what Yoda said. So I do it. I go and I vote. Because I took this information and that information and this information, and I voted for that fucking person. Right? That's why I voted for Ross Perot. That's why it's voted for a lot of people in the past. But yeah. It just kind of amazes me, It just really amazes me that people don't want to vote. People just don't think it's worth it. There's so much at stake that, as Jordan has heard me said 1,000 billion times, we are at the. I gotta say this thing. We are at the precipice. Okay, let me try this again. We are at the precipice of our country. If you have the integrity to make a decision, it could be vital to do that, or to not do it. Now, I'm making the decision to support and go with Trump. And the reason why I've done my research, like you would not believe, like hours, days, months, several years now. But the guy's genuine. He wants to fucking do what he can. No, he's not perfect, but he tells you what's going on. From what he knows, he tells you what's happening. Maybe there's not enough information getting to him. But as soon as he knows, his perspective starts to move a little bit. Once he starts to understand what the real issues or problems or whatever, he'll try and do what he can to fix it. He doesn't like losing, which is good. I think that's fucking huge, right? These other puppets, Kamala, she's just there because she has to be. She doesn't want to be there. I can fucking tell that chick does not want to be there. I can tell. Because she's drunk most of the time, and she doesn't want to do a fucking interview. She doesn't want to be there because she knows she's not supposed to be there. Biden believes he's there because he thinks that he was supposed to be there. None of them are supposed to be there. That'll come out. Trump takes November, gets into the Oval Office, and I pray to God and Jesus and every universe and God out there that happens, because the truth will be exposed like you would not believe. And I know most of it, and a lot of other people do, but I'm telling you, we have illegitimate people in D.C. right now. A bunch of them. I'm not just talking about the administration. I'm going to have a couple more of these. I don't know. But we are at the precipice. If we don't do what we need to do to make sure we have a chance, and that's the chance. Because I tried the other thing. Nobody tried. Nobody did it. Everybody just kept bitching and complaining. I was out there fucking marching. But this is it. If we don't go with Trump, if Trump doesn't win, if Trump doesn't, then our country's gone. We will not have another election ever again. That's what I believe. I don't think that it won't even go that far. People will be fucking rounded up. It'll be terrible. The totalitarianism is already here. The tyrannical monsters are already in the White House. They're already in Congress. And all of them are Democrats. There's a few that have jumped ship, though, which is good. Because they know that's just not right. They have integrity. They have morals. They have values. They have folkways. They have norms. They see the bigger picture. Their perspective is wider, which is good. And with that, I'm going to say this. Don't be a fucking useless. Don't be a useless nothing and not vote. If you are able to vote, pick a side. Go vote for Joe. Go vote for fucking whatever. But take a fucking stand with something. Take a fucking stand. I'm taking a stand with Trump because he's the only guy that's going to be able to take down. Jill Stein won't be able to take down the World Economic Forum. She's part of it. She's climate changed, woke, crazy fucking part of it. But if you want to go in that direction, you go ahead. If you want to go in Kamala's direction, yes, be my guest. But I'm going with Trump because I know for a fact, from people that I've spoken to that have met and spoke with him or to him directly, me to a friend to Trump, people I've trusted for a long time, known for decades, are telling me this guy fucking is real. And he's going to do what he says. And it's not Project 2025 bullshit. Go look it up. It's on his website, Agenda 47. The reason why I called it Agenda 47, because he's fucking smushing it in the face of the elites. They got their agenda, what is it, Agenda 2030 and Agenda this. He goes, well, you know what, I'll just make it Agenda 47 just to fuck with them. You don't know, this guy's, he's a lot smarter than everybody gives him credit for. Totally. Just it's if you watch when he was interviewing with the black reporters, those three girls, one was from Fox, one was from somewhere else and stuff. When they weren't looking, just joking around, he reaches over and tightens her lid so she couldn't fucking drink out of her bottle. In plain sight. She didn't know us, no, but it was fucking hilarious because she's just a tool. She doesn't understand. She's just a ding dong, and he needs to understand that most of these people are just paid. They're just ding dongs. He needs to understand that. You shouldn't take it personally. Yeah, so pick a fucking side. Grab your cojones, right? Grab your fucking cojones. Pick a fucking side. I'm picking Trump. Go pick something. Go do something. Right? If you want to fucking protest and do a billion-man march like I wanted to fucking do, let's go. I'll go with you. I'm still game. But for now, Trump.